And welcome back to the Midday Show. I'm Jeff Everett. He is Mark Messina. We have the Tour de France crash. We're going to talk about the best way to go viral in 2021. We also have a really neat story about a Flintstone house that won a lawsuit. And then a couple of questions about modern marriage and like where we're at in 2021 and what that should look like. But of course, as always, the most important question of the day. Mark, how are you feeling?
Well, I'm good. It's Monday. What could be better? You survived a week, apparently.
I did.
I
survived.
Week vacation with your girlfriend. Now we come in on Monday. We have a category called modern marriage, which was totally not my idea. And, I'm wondering if there's something in it. Is she right now making modern marriage plans, or is she thinking of an exit strategy? That's the question after 1 week together at the beach.
Survival is the name of the game. No, things are good. However, you came up with the modern marriage.
I don't remember coming up with that category.
Now you don't remember.
I think it was you.
Yeah, so I'm doing this from the world famous CI basketball camps.
World famous
in Loyal Sock Township. You can see the LT behind me. But yeah, things are good. But first, you know what's not good?
What not good?
The beginning of the Tour de France. For those of you who didn't see it, there was an accident. And if you haven't seen the video, don't do it right now, but eventually go watch it. It is almost out of a sitcom. Like, this feels a little bit almost like a Seinfeld episode or like a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode where like Kramer would be holding a sign and he would cause like a massive wreck at the beginning of the race. But that's basically what happened. A huge cardboard sign. A guy on the right side took out a bunch of bikes on the left after he ran into it. And the story gets crazier after that.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to say it. It sounds like a Seinfeld episode.
It does.
You just wonder, like, how stupid is this person? And the sign says something about hi, grandma and grandpa or something.
Yes. And
they're like, but I want to get the sign out so far that the cameras see it, unbeknownst to me that, oh, my God, the bikers are here and I'm out in the road. And as you can see, it's a perfect picture of it. The guy hit it and the guy went down and then there was just this pileup. And I think I saw an overhead view. I think the whole race that whole group came to a stop. It was like log jam. And there were a couple people that made it through, like NASCAR, but there was just a stoppage. So better.
Yeah,
this person got away.
Yeah, well, before we go into that, just some of the stats on it. One person had to withdraw due to injury. So somebody lost their whole race because of this person with the sign. And then there were numerous other people that, I believe there was one other who withdrew just because the mood, they were just nope, not doing this. And then there were other people that are contemplating dropping out now, later on, because they're just this isn't going the way I had hoped it would. So this has really transformed the race.
Oh yeah. And I saw one of the comments, aren't you glad that we have spectators back at sporting events? Because that's the whole thing. We're watching NBA games, we're watching NFL games, and everyone's like, it's just not right with no fans.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden the fans are back and they're even dumber than they were before. So it is, if you haven't, just find the video. It's everywhere. And there you go. There you go. So when those people call us dumb Americans, just be like, oh, did you see the Tour de France? But that's this person has escaped. Right there by the road, with the smoking gun and a bright yellow jacket. And she just kind of tiptoed through the crowd and nobody knows. Got on a plane and vanished.
So here, I guess this is the only question I really have about this is she's not she's a runaway, but legally speaking, I don't think she's held for anything. Even if they found her, what is what are you holding her for?
There has to be. There has to be. You jump on the field, it's trespassing. She caused injury by her own negligence. That has to be.
Because if you look at the video, she's not she herself is not on the course. The sign is so obnoxiously long. Yes, the sign is so obnoxiously long that it ends up into the thing. This is the other part, and I will say this too. If you watch the video, and I am not blaming the bikers at all, the biker that is on the right side, and granted, there's not a lot of places to go. He makes very little attempts to avoid.
He couldn't go anywhere.
No, I'm just saying.
Bikes on the left and people on the right. Listen, he could have jumped.
I'm not blaming the biker. I'm just saying, like, there was not a ton. It looks as if he thought he would just go through it. Like, it looks as if he was just like, this stupid cardboard sign. Like, I just got to go through it and continue the race. And he hits it, and it's over. Like, it's
Dude, he had. This isn't the Dukes of Hazzard where there's a dirt ramp every time you need one. Like, he had nowhere to go.
All right. I found this fascinating. You haven't gotten a chance to read it. I'm going to back up real quick because that may have gave it away. There was a study done. I saw this on MSNBC. There was a study done, and what researchers did is they wanted to figure out what is the best way to actually go viral. So this was done by the University of Cambridge and New York University. They analyzed 2.7 million posts on Facebook and Twitter to try to figure out what is the best way to go viral. So without having read this and without you and I talking about it, what would be your guess? What do you think was the best way to go viral in 2021?
All right, first of all, I'm doubting that anyone examined 2.7 million anything.
They did.
The best way to go viral.
Yes. I will give you a hint. It is not dancing on TikTok because I'm assuming that would be a lot of first people's guess in the year 2021. The best way to go viral.
I would have thought of something like that, something dancing, something really funny. But no, I mean, those seem too obvious. So yeah. I'm going to say I have no idea.
So the picture may gave it away. So the best way to go viral, and this is all just based off of like just studying in the post, it was actually posting a political challenge. So the best way for you to go viral is to go online and post a video of you outing another political group, whether you're right, left, independent, whatever you may be, going on and saying, I disagree with this person and here's why, and ranting about it. Your posts have a 67% higher success rate than any other post on social media right now. It's not dancing girls. It's not dancing girls. It's not trick shots. It's kind of like, but here's the part of like, the more I thought about it, the more sense it made.
I guess I don't, if you see, like, do you ever get friend requests and you don't kind of know who they are and you kind of,
yes.
So you go and you do a little, like, who are my mutual friends? Because at my age, when you're getting there, you're like, is this someone I should know? And I just don't know their name, but I've met them. And so you start going through, if I get to their page and I start scrolling through their posts and it's political, then I'm not accepting now. Yeah. Like and so maybe that's just me. Like I can't imagine engaging in a political debate online. Yeah. Because they just seem so fruitless.
Yes. And the crazy part is it's not like 10%, 20%, 67% more likely to be shared. If you and I got on here and we just challenged each other politically every day, we would be 67% more likely to have our stuff shared in the year 2021. Pretty incredible.
How riveting would that be?
I don't know. Well, you and I are I actually think we'd have some good stuff, but I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's entertaining. Because
no, there has to be such a mean-spirited way about it.
Yeah.
And that would be where, like, I can joke with you about like our differences, and we joke mostly about. I don't get like yelling at someone because they have a different political opinion. I don't see it.
Yeah. So I agree. You know what? I had never thought of the word disappointing when you first said that, but now that you say that, like, it is kind of disappointing that that's where we're at with social media.
I mean, this is what people say to me, and they're the people who are the Facebook holdouts who are like, I don't like Facebook because it's so negative. And I was like, yeah, and one of the things that we always point out is the algorithm knows you. Yes. And the more, if you just look at a bunch of pretty pictures of dogs, then your Facebook feed is going to be full of pretty pictures of dogs. Right. So Facebook kind of feeds you your whatever your addiction is, yes, if you will.
Well, that was the other point they made in the study is once you share one of them, they know you're now more likely to share the next one. So now you see the next political challenge and the next political challenge and the next. So it's kind of like this vicious cycle. So once it was election season and once people started sharing this stuff, it just kind of snowballed and that became the number one viral trend in 2021.
And maybe now, because there's so many fewer of it, obviously during, September, October, November, it was everywhere. Yeah. And now that we're 6 months removed, maybe those people are still so amped that, and there's less and less of these.
Right.
But it's disappointing to me. It's saddening to me that there's so much. If you just want to look at, like, there's good news from friends about graduations and marriages and jobs,
right,
and pretty pictures of nature now that we're into summer, and there's leaves and there's outdoors again, and there's so much good news and happy news and funny stuff. I tell you this one. Here's the joke you could use. You might be too young to appreciate this. Bono and the Edge walk into a bar. The bartender says, "Oh no, not you two again." Get it?
Pretty good.
Get it? You get it? I read that on Facebook today. You don't get it. You don't know who Bono and Edge are.
Did you hear? By the way, did you see the post about the guy who lost his left arm?
No.
He's all right.
I couldn't see where it was going. I knew you were going somewhere.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We just lost every viewer from here.
No. There are people that are right now texting those out. Right. They're like, "What did Mark say? Did Jeff left? All right. Yeah. Right, okay. Good.
Right. All right. Thank you to Weiss Markets for being our title sponsor. Be sure to go there for all your grocery needs. Mark's already been there twice today. If you need him to pick something up for you, let him know before he goes his third time. Also, thank you to the Break Room. Be sure to go there to blow off some steam here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. And thank you to Moon and Raven. And thank you to Eat and Run Catering.
Yep.
How can they win?
Weiss Markets, we have a $25 gift card, a $50 gift card, a $100 gift card. Last week I had a bad week. This week I suspect I'll be hot because outside it is much like the equator. Okay. When I was a kid, like during baseball season, we would call this Africa hot because it's like, did you ever notice, by the way Africa's, like, most of Africa is above the equator? Yes. And you would never think that because
most people would not. Correct.
But it's like the top, it's kind of like a fist. It's like ET's head. The top of Africa is bigger than the bottom, and the top is above the equator.
The other problem with that is you never see pictures of Africa above the equator very often because it's mostly desert. So it's not like you're seeing all these parts of Africa. The majority of it is just a wasteland.
That makes sense.
It does make sense. In order to win, join the Midday Show Facebook group. Our random winner for today is Ethan Siddell.
There we go.
I may or may not know.
Very nice. And again, just to go over that again, go to Facebook, search Midday Show group, and click join, and you are in. And you can be lucky enough, like Ethan, to win a T-shirt, a guaranteed T-shirt.
Did we lose you?
And here they are.
There it is.
Here they are. A T-shirt, Midday Show, and on the back it says NorthcentralPa.com. We were going to put a big picture of Jeff, but we didn't because I don't know, something about the scanner didn't want it. But anyway, so Ethan wins a T-shirt, and he may win something else. Here we go. Are we ready for the prize wheel?
I love how you hold it now.
$100. Look at that. I told you I was going to be hot. Yeah, I am going to hold it because I broke it last time. $100 to Ethan Siddell.
Nice.
$100 Wise gift card. Siddell?
I think it's Siddell.
I would go with Siddell.
Yes.
So anyway, however you say his last name, he has a $100 gift card to Wise Markets. Congratulations to Ethan. And he gets a T-shirt, which is much more valuable. I mean, you can't put a price tag on this T-shirt.
Should we be signing these before we stuff them in the envelopes?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. All right. You didn't know this story. I'm breaking the news to you. There is, so bear with me here because this is a really neat story. And you can kind of see it. If you get a chance, don't leave us now. But if you get a chance, look up the Flintstone House because the pictures are marvelous. It's really neat. There is a colorful home in Northern California, and it is referred to as the Flintstone House because it's built to look like the Flintstone House. It has dinosaur replicas. And there's memorabilia from the 1960s cartoon. So everything's like caveman themed. However, there were people trying to say that the house is becoming a public nuisance because people kind of touring or people wanting to come and check it out. Flintstone fans. Did you know there were Flintstone hippies in 2021?
Of course I didn't.
Of course you didn't. So anyway, there was a lawsuit. And not only did the owner of the house win, but they're also getting $125,000 for the hassle of having to deal with the lawsuit and to cover expenses and everything else. So Northern California, Flintstone House, if you get a chance, go and look at this. I I don't know, like what is a public nuisance, like as far as housing goes?
Well, I can see like it's a cute story for us because we don't live there. And when you said go and visit it, he's not saying you have to drive there. He's saying we have this technology called the internet where you can see it.
Correct.
But I mean, imagine you were the neighbor. There's 60 replica. It's become a tourist attraction. Yeah. So your neighborhood is always full of, like, I can imagine why that would kind of suck. Yeah. I don't. So people say, well, sell and move. It's probably killed your property value. Sure. Like your best option would almost be to get in on the act and kind of expand it, and let it spread into your yard. But if you're 2 houses down or 3, like I can see why the neighbors don't like this. I think it's cool that these people won the lawsuit because it's hard to pick on the people who like Fruity Pebbles that much, because I loved Fruity Pebbles as a kid. But this was the other. I feel for the neighbors here a little bit.
Well, this was the other part because I thought about this a lot. They can come in. This is the other part because I thought about this for a little while. It's not like in South Williamsport they have the Christmas Candy Cane Lane. But with Candy Cane Lane, it's so much easier. It's easier to get in on it, right? Like it's easier, like you can dress up the house for a month, like everything else. The other part, like it's only for a month. With this, like it's harder to join in. Like you can't really get in on the gag, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, and part of the I say the beauty of Candy Cane Lane is like you start at the bottom, you go up and you go out, or you start at the top and come down. However, I always start at the bottom because that's the way. But depending on where this is laid out, if there may be one way in and one, I mean, it just may be like Candy Cane Lane is efficient. You can park and walk. You can, but with these people, I don't know. It might not be nearly as efficient. And you're right. It would be a lot harder. I mean, Candy Cane Lane, you just dress it up and do lights and make it pretty and make it Christmassy, and you're in on the bit.
Right. And then you're a part of it. This, and it is like when I say it's a Flintstone house, it looks like this is not a normal house. Like it looks like something out of a cartoon. It has the bright colors. It's purple. It's red. It is straight out of the cartoon. So
is all the furniture made out of stone?
I did not see pictures of the inside, but I'm going to look it up now that you mention it. But the outside looks identical.
If their bed isn't just rock, then they are fakers.
I would love to see their vehicle.
That's true. And the calluses on their feet.
That's the real question. You wanted to do a modern marriage. Real quick, can you hear the balls bouncing? Are we good? A little bit. Yeah, okay, are we all right?
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Okay, let's do modern marriage real quick.
All right, so modern marriage, I read this article somewhere about this. There was a wife, a bride-to-be, I should say, who turned down her husband when she found out, or she called off the wedding when she found out that he needed glasses to read because she didn't know his eyesight was that weak. And apparently that is an end, like that is, which would doom most of us. I've had glasses since 7th grade. When did you get yours?
I found out that I needed glasses. It would have been probably like going into 8th grade.
Yeah. Now I remember I was in 7th grade. I couldn't read the chalkboard anymore. So anyway, what as I read into it, it was an arranged marriage, which like why? They still do these things? And the big issue now isn't like my first thought is to this guy, like people think, oh, poor guy he has bad vision and she dumped him. No. This is a blessing. Like if she's dumping you because you need glasses to read, then good riddance. Like this was the
You're dodging a bullet.
What?
Like you're dodging a bullet.
So then I'm reading about it, but the big issue now is the dowry and the returning of the dowry. Now, we've all heard about this. We learned about this stuff in school. And a dowry, back in the day with arranged marriages, they gave you an acre of land and a goat and, a llama or something like that. And here we go. The dude got a motorcycle. So, like, we are that antiquated that, like, we're doing arranged marriages, but we're that modern that he's getting a Harley along with it. And now they went to the police and they're like, you should have to return the dowry. And the family's like, we ain't giving it back. And then they had some meeting arranged and the groom's family never showed. So they still have the motorcycle. And I'm sure there was cash involved. But I mean, dear God, what?
Yeah. So the first one, because I used to joke about this with people, is like, do you have allergies? Do you need glasses? Did you have braces? Like, these are like things, like there are people who really care about it, right? Like if they want to have kids and they're worried about it, like if they're really worried about it.
Would that do?
Well, so
would you
yeah,
never
so
date me then?
but see, like I've actually talked with people, and like I've been on dates before, stuff like that, where like if like that's a big deal, like if they want to have kids and like they didn't have to have braces or they didn't have to need glasses, like some people really look into it, like it's a real thing.
I can see, like, do you smoke? That's one.
That I could see that one. For me, like this is the one that I've always like. I never had braces, so like that, and my sister didn't either. So that whole world is just like I don't. Now listen, if I had kids that needed braces, I'm sure I'd adjust and I'd handle it and everything else. But it is a world like I know nothing about. Like I don't know how painful it is.
What you're saying is you need to marry someone who had braces so they can help guide you through this process. Possibly. You don't want to be a braceless family and then have kids.
Well, or just have kids that don't need braces, right?
Well,
isn't that the idea of genetically? Well, that right. So what I'm saying is like if you have a family that genetically like has never needed them, it doesn't mean there's a 100% chance, but your odds go up.
Yes, but
correct. So I'm just saying, like from a braces standpoint, like I would be off. Now I've gone through the whole glasses and breaking them and contacts and eye drops, and you don't have drops, and now you got to go get the drops, and you want to stay over somewhere, but you don't have your contact case, and like so that part, like I can be totally relatable. Like if my kid had an issue, like I'm Johnny on the spot. I get it. I know what to do. But it is funny, like for some people, like those things are very. I mean, the most common one you hear nowadays is like were they athletic or not? Are they tall? Like those kinds of things. Like you're trying to have NFL babies, like that kind of stuff is like the social media joke, like the trend. So it's a very real thing.
When you're my age, the questions are, how crazy is your ex? Have you been in prison before? Are there personal, what is it, a PFA? Like, how many kids do you have? Like, things like that. Those are the questions. As you get, like, you're still young. You people working on your first marriage, you know, once you're in your 40s and you're single again, the questions change.
Yeah. And then the other one, like you said about arranged marriages, I like a lot of it's just control, right? I mean, at this point now, like in 2021, it just
Before I brought this up, I should have asked you. This was kind of neglectful on my part. In Blossburg, do they have arranged marriages still?
Well, no. I mean, I wouldn't call them arranged marriages. I mean, some of it's arranged just simply by genetics and by math. Like you just don't really.
You're not related to.
Like right. I mean, your choices are limited. So if you want to call that arranged, I mean, technically, yes, there are arranged marriages.
Okay.
Like in any other small town, but you know.
So your parents put their arm around you and said, Jeff, we got good news and bad news. There's only one girl in a 5-mile radius that you're not related to, but she's kind of cute.
I learned very early on, like once I went to college, I kind of figured out that like life is easier if you don't date somebody from your hometown. And that's not a knock on any, like for the people that found love in their hometown and like, I'm happy for you. It's great. I just found like in my life, things are a lot easier dating somebody outside of where you grew up.
Why do you think that is? Because I have theories. You went down a
well,
theory.
No, I think, well, first of all, I think there's a lot more to get to know about the person. So I think there's some longevity early on in the relationship because they don't know every cousin. They don't know every spot you went to eat lunch. They don't know the backstory of that kind of stuff. So in small town America, I do think there is like, I could make the argument that it makes the longevity of the relationship early on easier because you're still learning things about each other. There's still stories you haven't heard. You're still meeting new people.
Yeah, I think, and I agree with all that. Another aspect I think is the older you get when you meet someone, like how old were you when you started dating your present girlfriend? Like 31?
Yeah, I would have been 31.
Like at 31, you have figured out a lot more about yourself than when you were 18.
Oh,
so she is getting so much more of a better version of Jeff. So yeah, when you've known someone since they were 12 or 13 or 15 or whatever, or then you meet someone when they're 20. Not that we have the world figured out at 22, but we figured out a lot more of who we are than when we were a kid. So I think that helps too.
I mean, even just like through dating and just meeting people and stuff like that the first trip home, like the first, road trip there. You think so? See, I always thought the opposite. I always thought it was like a chapter in the relationship, or like getting to know a different side of them, or getting, So again, I just thought it gave the relationship legs. That's why I'm surprised you don't think so.
Well, there are chapters that suck.
Well,
there's nothing fun.
But didn't you? Well, not to bring up, but you had to go across the pond, or am I wrong?
No, I met.
Okay.
Boy, I don't remember where I met my mother-in-law. I met my father-in-law in the States. He was stationed in.
Because I was gonna say, if you have to fly across the pond, it might be a very different conversation from what I'm talking.
This about. Honest to God story. He was here the first time I ever met him, and you'll get the. Was it the first time the Orioles were going to make the play? No, it was the second time. It was 1997. The Orioles were the best team in baseball. There's like a week to go in the season. I will never forget this. We are at one of those restaurants, what has the bloomin' onion?
Australia, the Outback Steakhouse.
We're at Outback, okay? And they have TVs up, and where our booth is, I can see the bar, and on the TVs are the Orioles. Who are the Orioles playing? And the Yankees were playing Toronto, and they were Nerio Rodriguez, I remember, was pitching in one of these games for somebody. And if the Orioles won and the Yankees lost, that meant the Orioles won the American League East. So the whole time I'm looking over my phone who I met the first time, and I'm just watching both the baseball games. I'm like, yeah. And I was jacked because.
And you're single.
I know. It's funny.
I don't understand.
Of all Mike's years in Baltimore, he only won the division once. They won the wild card once, and the night they won it was the night I met my father-in-law. But he understood. He had to understand.
He had to understand. I think I know who this is. We're not 100% sure. I married my wife without a goat. Lucky it all worked out. So there you go. When it's real love, you don't need a goat for the, what did you call it?
Whoa. See, he doesn't even understand how dowries work. He's supposed to get the goat. She is supposed to bring the goat.
But maybe that's what he's saying. I married my wife without a goat. Like he was saying, I accepted her without the goat.
Oh, okay. Maybe I misread that. Okay, I understand.
Yeah, that's how I'm taking it.
It all worked out for now. Let's put that. Let's ... for now.
For now, that's true. There's still a long way to go. This was good. I will say, you and I have been a little slower. And you and I have gotten together and said, do we need to should we try to do a 30-minute show? Should we try to do a 25-minute show? I don't know what happened today, but maybe it was just me being in a rush. But that was good. I felt like that was a good pace, don't you?
I like it.
I think it almost looks like you have do I have like a shimmer of sweat? It looks like you have a shimmer of sweat because we were kind of like moving.
I was in the sun yesterday. It got hot all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It got hot. Baseball tournament, sitting there. I didn't have a hat. I'm not really a hat guy that much, but I'm wearing one tonight because I got a Little League All-Star game I'm going to go check out. And I'm dressed. I'm ready. So here, before I let you go, because I know so many people care about this, Clips, Suns, number one, is anyone going to make a shot tonight? And number two, does Phoenix close it out or do the Clippers rally?
Well, I mean, even if they don't close it out tonight, Phoenix is winning the series. You can take that one. It's right now. It's going to be Phoenix, Milwaukee, and then it's really going to come down to just who's healthier. I really think Phoenix, Milwaukee is a coin flip, and if Phoenix, if Chris Paul's out, or if Milwaukee, if Giannis is, out, it's going to come down to just who stays healthy for 7
I
minutes.
thought in Game 5, the 84-80 game, which is a joke. I mean, Loyalstock High School plays games that are 84-80, and you only play 32 minutes. You don't get 48 minutes. No. So I thought it was defended really, really well. I thought the Clippers couldn't shoot, but I thought guys stayed in front of people. I thought there weren't many breakdowns. It would not shock me if the Clippers went to Phoenix while Phoenix was feeling fat and happy. And if the Clippers get this one.
No, it wouldn't surprise. This is the neatest part about playoff basketball that no one talks about, and I'm a nerd. But the series, I would love high school basketball if it was like a 3-game series. First one to win 2 games, right? Because by the time you get to Game 3, Game 4, Game 5, they know every play, they know all your tendencies, and it's really just which players can create, which ones can improvise, which teams can adjust quicker. Because by Game 3 or 4, they know everything you're trying to do, and that's when the series really starts.
No, I agree with that. And benefits the teams with versatility because you can create the coaches that by game 3 or 4 are figuring out, this might be a matchup we can exploit that we never really play with this lineup, or we never really go with this, but we don't think they can guard it. So it does give coaches with versatile guys life. And and also the NHL Stanley Cup Finals start tonight. There's a Canadian team in it. They are called the Canadians, so it will be easy for you to keep track of that. If you don't know that Montreal is not one of our cities, the Canadian teams have not won the Stanley Cup since 1993. So if you have a heart at all, you will root for Canada. And yes, thank you. I was so jacked to go watch it last night, and my son looks at me and goes, "Dad, it's tomorrow." I was like, "What? I just saw it." He's like, no, basketball game's tonight, hockey game tomorrow. So anyway, and I don't know why they call them the Habitants. I don't know what that means.
The Habs, you mean?
The Habs. Yeah, they call the Canadians the Habs.
Oh, I thought it had something to do back with one of their older teams, like with the original name. I could be wrong. That's what I thought it had something to do with that. I
don't know. And they're favored to lose. Can you be favored? They're expected to lose. But Tampa just went 7 tough games with the Islanders, so who knows? So I'm calling it right now. Clippers in an upset tonight, and I'm not picking Montreal to win because they're not supposed to win, but I'm rooting my butt off for Montreal because you cared. You cared about that.
I do. Oh, playoff talk. That was good. I enjoyed that. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to Weiss Markets for being our title sponsor. Be sure to go there for all your grocery needs, and be sure to go to NorthcentralPa.com for all your local news. We had a great weekend. Shout out to one of our employees, Brett Crossley, who crushed it. So again, for all your local news, go to NorthcentralPA.com. And anything else before we head out?
Nope, that's it. I got it. We're happy that you're back in one piece. We're happy that you're still blissfully in love because I did not want to deal with sobbing Jeff through the show.
Yeah, no, we're good. Life's good. Real quick, we're not gonna go on a rant here, but the farmers in Montreal were called the inhabitants back in the day.
There we go. I knew that. Of course,
that's the Habs. That's the Habs. Thank you, Lisa. All right, thank you guys for watching. I'm Jeff Everett. He is Mark Messina, and we will see you tomorrow.
Later.